In my opinion, I think water is one of our most important resources that we have. And I think it would also be fair to say that it's very high on the priority of my next couple of guests, so much so that they've organized a very special conference coming up in February up in Grande Prairie. It's a real pleasure to welcome Adam Norris. He's with the Mighty Peace Watershed Alliance, and Petra Rao, who is the executive director of the Athabasca Watershed Council. And we should also note, even though not represented in this interview, a big nod to the Lesser Slave Lake Watershed Council. Unfortunately, the fact they're not here is simply just a matter of scheduling, but they certainly are playing a big role in the upcoming conference. So welcome to you both. Let's start with Petra. Maybe give us a bit of a background on how this conference came together.
Good morning. Thanks, Michael. Yeah, it was Megan Payne with the Lesser Slave Watershed Council who came to us and said, there's just so much good work going on across our northern watersheds. It would be great to get together and profile and highlight that great work. And also in recognition of the fact that our watersheds, the Athabasca Peace and the Lesser Slave, are Alberta's northern watersheds. We drain into the Mackenzie. We're a really big land base. We make up about 2/3 of the province, but we don't have a lot of people. So we wanted this conference to really focus on all the great collaborations that are going on across the northern half of the province for water management. Is that kind of how you remember it, Adam?
Yes, for sure. And I think, each WPAC has their own outreach. And pre-COVID, we had been doing science forums so that, once a year we try to bring together people for a half day on a topic. And this is great. Lesser Slave Lake, they initiated this, and there's a great opportunity for us to discuss water management work from the northern perspective. As Petra mentioned, it's a bit different, right? Where the practitioners up here deal with different situations, and it's a lot of land with not so many people. So we're looking forward to looking at those specific challenges.
Adam, talk a little bit about the importance that you've placed on water quality, the riparian zone, and wetlands, and the diversity of. All of that comes together just to really drive home the fact that water is so critical to not only our survival, but the importance to habitat and fish and wildlife.
For sure. Water's for fighting, whiskey's for drinking, right? It's all about, not just that, but people have a lot of uses of water, and they don't sometimes realize that everyone has a beer they enjoy, or whiskey, or coffee, or tea. That requires a good quality water. And the way we can look at managing water quality is by doing things on the upland. Essentially, every decision we make about land use is a water management decision. You mentioned wetlands. They filter, they store, they buffer, they provide us with water and protect us from the extremes of water. So there's a lot of opportunity for us to look at land use as a way to manage water. And those opportunities provide us with these great things we want, like drinking water. And that's definitely a high priority for our Watershed Planning Advisory Council, as well as some of these ecosystem benefits for healthy aquatic ecosystems, right? So looking at fish and other aquatic animals out there. So this is it's a big picture thing, that what we do on the land affects the water, and the priorities are things that we all can relate to. Drinking water, aquatic ecosystems, and our industry. We need to support our industry with a resource they can use.
Petra, talk a little bit about putting the agenda together, or the conference itself. Was it difficult in finding resource experts to come in and talk to, and how wide of a net did you cast in terms of having different presenters? Are you, industry? I've noticed some industry is there. What about governmental response to any queries you may have put out?
Yeah, we planned for 2 days, and we probably could have added 2 more days. We've had lots of interest and lots of people reaching out, and our agenda filled up quite quickly. So we've had to turn away some people. So that's just a tells us that we need to do this more often. So yeah, we've gotten a great response. Industry, there's a lot of folks working on the landscape, whether they're working on our native trout species up in the East Slopes, or they're working on riparian and wetland restoration in our agricultural areas, or they're doing research on the peatlands and the wetlands down in the lower piece and the lower Athabasca. They've all reached out, so we had no problem filling our agenda. And so we've sort of got a theme. The first morning is about industry, and the first afternoon sort of around some water quality initiatives and source water protection. The second day has sections on biodiversity, talking about those native trout again, and which I know is something you're always interested in, Michael, and talking about riparian areas and wetlands. But overall, there's that theme of, are we addressing the right issues that are impacting our water? And are we forming the right collaborations to take us into the next decades? So yes, we definitely have strong interest from industry, government, and just working practitioners.
And of course, your keynote speaker is certainly someone who's well known to anybody that kind of follows this genre of interest, and that's Lauren Fitch. So that's got to be a highlight as well for you folks.
Yeah, for sure. He's someone who's got a lot of experience, like you said, in this field, dealing with fish and riparian management, but he's also a great storyteller, right? So I think we're looking forward to it after a long day of technical sessions. He's the guy who can wrap it all up and give us sort of that inspiration. Why are we out there? Why are we putting in the effort to water management? And he is someone who can really nail that down. I think he's got his finger on the pulse.
And yeah. I guess, sort of there's always got to be a reason for doing something, and I'm wondering at the end of the day, what kind of outcomes are you expecting from this conference?
I think it's going back to that theme again of, at the end of the 2 days, I hope we've gotten an idea of, are we tackling the right issues? Are we missing any? And to tackle those issues on that really big landscape with a small population, do we have the right collaborations in place? So we're going to kind of be challenging everybody to think about, are there more ways that you can, whether you're industry, government, non-government organization, are there better ways to collaborate in the future to really leverage our resources and to be effective in water management across the North?
So when it comes to registration and all of that type of thing, I'm not sure who wants to take on this question, but how do you do it? It's the 15th of February up in Grande Prairie. When do you sort of close the door for folks wanting to register for the event?
Adam?
Oh, sure. It's on Eventbrite. You can find it. There's links from all the websites, Athabasca Watershed Council, Lesser Slave Watershed Council, and the Mighty Peace Watershed Alliance. If you go to any of those sites, there's a link to the Eventbrite. Otherwise, go to Eventbrite, Water Management in Alberta's Boreal. You'll find it for sure. The final date is the Monday before, right? Is that the 8th? February the 8th, I think, is the date that we set. I don't have it off the top of my head, but it's that week before. So yeah, we're down to the last couple of weeks for people still to register, and encourage them to do that.
And is there a cost associated with attending the event?
Yeah, it's $150 for the 2-day conference, and that includes the banquet.
Perfect. Well, would like to wish all of you best of luck with this, and be looking forward to, I guess, following up to see what some of the maybe some of the interesting thoughts that come out of the conference, and maybe there's some new paths to explore as you move forward. Thank you both so much for coming on and chatting with us today.